All right. Still progressing with the staff out. No longer sneaking.
You only just
That
said it,
that seems
OJ.
right.
All right. Um, let's see here. I believe it was. Is it this one here? No, that's counters. Pull up just a little bit here. So as you continue going through some of the narrower parts of the cavern, again they go down to about 5 feet, a little bit above that, about 7-8 feet at the widest and the highest. But as they close about almost to the point where claustrophobia would kick in, they start to open up again, and as they do, just getting the map out here. Series contractor. Alright, putting your tokens on here. Now this is a little larger map. It's a little larger than some of the other ones that we have, but I don't want to make them too much larger than this because I don't want to have any problems. Any problems loading for anybody. So it should be starting to load for people. Let me know if anybody cannot see it in the next few seconds. And we make sure that it's visible for our viewers here. Hope everybody's enjoying the game.
There we go.
Alright, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Feel free to move your tokens about, by the way. I just randomly threw them on there. So don't move your tokens further in the map. Just move them in that order around there once people move. And yeah, we want that. All right, perfect. Now, unlike the other caverns, this one does have some natural light sources strewn about. There are a few things that you do notice as well. One of which, immediately as the tunnel opens up, dangling from the ceiling of this cavern, about a good, probably the closest one would be about 20 feet from the top of your head, so about 25 feet from the actual water itself. There are dangling dwarven bodies. Looks like they're dangling from vines from the ceiling of this massive cavern. You do hear some sounds of movement, and also sounds of appears to be like sobbing in the distance.
I'd cry too if I had to be here. Wait, I am here. Aries' eyes just start watering up.
Is my detect good and evil and good still active?
Ari gets a very awkward head. Just two.
That is an important question. Does he have it up?
Did it take us more than 10 minutes to get to this room? Dave, you there?
Sorry, I was on mute myself. I thought I had the push to talk enabled. So, the Detect Good and Evil is no longer active. It did take more than 10 minutes to get to this room, but Mage Armor is still active for Mordecai.
Thank you.
Alright then.
So, with that, who would like to do what first? As you hear the distant sobs and sounds coming from the eastern part of the chamber.
Should we try to go in quiet from here since we don't need the light source?
Yeah, this place is fairly illuminated. The only spot that would be probably not very well illuminated is going to be the big center portion where some of the shadows kind of coalesce. I'll try to make a marker on it just so there's no confusion. Because there are some shadows. This place is huge. Thank you. So that'd be the only spot that would be considered kind of dim light, lightly obscured areas. Anything under the water is heavily obscured, and it's still difficult terrain.
I'd be fine with sneaking.
Okay. Anybody else gonna try to sneak in?
I'll try sneaking about 10 feet back.
All right.
Unless the sounds of crying become screaming, at which point I'm getting loud.
Mordecai dismisses the light on his staff.
Okay, your staff no longer glows a bright, vibrant white, and there's no vibrant white light emanating around you.
And he'll try and sneak up with everyone else.
Okay, what about you, Ryan? Are you going to try to sneak along as well?
I guess so. I don't know if it's necessarily the best option, considering that he's not that great at stealth, but...
That's why we should just hang back a little bit further.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Now keep in mind, with the terrain, with stealth, everything does slow you down a bit. So instead of 1 foot being 2 feet of movement, it's 1 foot being 3 feet of movement. So let's roll stealth for Aetherius and Mordecai.
Wait, okay.
21 is a very good stealth.
8 is not.
Okay, so begin moving your tokens forward in the caverns here. Let's see if I can move this over just a little bit to the left here. All right, and Aetherius, there you go. All right. Now, as they're still moving up here, I know Ryan and Aaron wanted to give you guys some distance, so if you want to move again, Mordecai and Aetherius, you may. All right, and Ari and Ryan, did you want to give them any more distance before you started moving?
you think?
Probably not because it's difficult terrain. I don't want them getting too far.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
All right. So, if you want to start moving now, or do you want to move after they move?
Probably move now, just so we're not more than 10 or 15 feet away at any given point.
Okay. So remember, 1 foot of movement, it costs 3, right? Oh, actually, no. Well, could just to be 2 for you because you're not sneaking.
I mean, I guess we'll try to sneak too, but we're just...
Yeah.
We're trying. We're just making sure we're at least a little bit further away before we accidentally trip things off.
At 19, my God. Just dropped. Alright, so you both are also slogging through the muck, the thick algae and vegetation, the dwarven bodies, like a forest of corpses dangling above. As you're moving through the waters here, you can almost swear that you can see some of the vines like slowly moving along the ceiling.
This place is so creepy.
Yeah, I'm a bit unnerved by it, yeah.
Alright, so Mordecai and Thurius, would you like to continue to move, or are you gonna... What would you like to do?
I'm gonna peek my head around the corner to see if I see anything in the distance.
Good man. So, make a perception check for me. I also need to do this as well. Okay. So, as you kind of peek through, you see this very large, appears to be someone of definitely of orcish descent, standing by 4 mostly submerged cages. They're tied by bits of rope, just kind of anchored out through the ceiling, going across to a single point on a wall across. And the orc here looks like he has his weapon drawn, which, from what you can see here, he has a few bits of armament on him. It looks like he's got either staves or something to his back. Something very large connected to his hip. It's kind of hard to see from your distance with that. He does have a sharpened blade, which he's kind of just holding about the cages and the ropes. And the screams that you're hearing, the sobbings, are coming from people in the cages. The top's just barely above the water. You can see, like, appears to be almost like little hands or fingers just like holding to the tops of the cages. The orc who's dressed in this like war regalia, like it's almost like not really animal furs, but more like reptilian furs, like things like the alligator kind of head, various scales, going over his shoulders, down parts of his arm, like a vest, part of his like loincloth, and even some of his pants. They're all kind of reinforced with this scaly hide. But he does not make any notice of you peeking. He seems to be more focused on the cages at the moment.
So I'm going to take a step back, turn to Mordecai, and tell him about this. So,
Mordecai nods, and then each in turn, Ryan and then Ari, he'll repeat the information to them via the spell message. Points his staff towards them and whispers, and only they can hear him speak.
The moment you tell that to Aerie, she's going loud and is going to start charging forward.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, Ari, if you're going in loud and proud, go ahead and move your token again. Just keep in mind the difficult terrain.
Right, she'll move and then action dash to... She just sprints past them, going through the water.
She's just making her way through the waters there. As she's going in loud, does she say anything?
You can whisper back a message, and I can hear it. Nobody else will.
Well, I meant if she's like saying anything out loud.
Can she see the people being drowned in their cages?
It doesn't look like they're necessarily being drowned. Make a perception check.
12?
From what you can see, like, it looks like they're holding to the tops of the cages, trying to prevent from being drowned. So they're trying to hold their bodies up. However, as you come trudging through the waters there, the head of the orcish being just turns over to you.
Let them go! Wait, let them be free. I've made that mistake once before.
He chuckles at, well, you here means my worshippers have failed. Or the halfling betrayed me. Either way, very poor choice of words. And he cuts the rope. The cages fall into the water.
But I changed it to specifically not cover that.
Roll initiative, everyone.
I don't have an easy answer to the cages.
Aerie does.
That
I
nat
do.
20.
Would you like to know what this answer is? Completely out of character, though. But in the words of a certain Captain Paladin I know, acceptable casualty.
Yeah, Aerie doesn't take that. Aerie thought people are drowning.
Well, they are now. They're going to be if once their breath goes out. So,
Well, hopefully they're holding it.
they kind of have to at this point. So, Aetherius, who has a 23 initiative, not a surprise as he's been just killing initiative this whole adventure.
As opposed to enemies.
Yeah. Hey, they roll for initiative. A lot of them have been rolling single digits. Only a few have rolled like in the doubles, and it's been like low doubles. But anyway, it is your show.
Alright, well, for once, I'm actually going to change up how I go about things. Once I remember what the range on Chromatic Orb.
Ooh. Let's see. It should be on your spells. If you click your character actions, you can pull up, click the little shield icon. 90 feet.
Okay. Oh, 90 feet. So how far away are they right now?
So if you right-click, you can get a, on the map, not on your token, you can get like a little pointer, and you can make like a little draw arrow pointer, and you can just do it from, like, about you, just like I'm doing right here. He's within the 90 feet, because I'm drawing it, like, not even at your token, and you can see it's
All right.
So, just kill that pointer here.
So I'm going to point the staff at him, and I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb. For I don't know what type of damage yet. Huh. That's a lot more options than I thought. Though I have to ask, does that hit?
Yeah. If you look at the
Oh.
roll,
I'm so used to roll 20. Wow.
Yeah, this takes a little getting used to, but the automation this does behind it just blows roll 20 out the water.
Oh yeah, no, this is the best thing I've actually encountered for D&D so far. I love it.
Wait till you get those
We're
AoE
gonna
spell
go-
effects.
Oh.
Quick target all
Well.
enemies or target all friends.
Well, we're gonna light him on fire.
All right then.
And light on fire you do. Holy shit. Yeah, so this 4-inch ball of like glowing fire just launches from Aetherius' hand, flies across the cavern, lighting the way, and strikes him just right in the chest. That 4-inch sphere just erupts, and this ball of flame just kind of encompasses the rest of his torso. He starts just screaming like, "Ah! You're gonna die!"
So he's gonna spin his staff, stamp into the ground, and then point at him and say very, very monotonely, "I'm gonna show you why Destiny's a bitch."
All right, like it. Okay, does that end your turn?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So, with that, Mordecai, it is your turn. There's a flaming orc
Okay.
across the cavern.
I'm gonna move up closer, and I'll be in range to hit him with the ray of frost.
Actually, before you do that, Therius, roll another d20.
All right.
You would have had advantage on that attack because he did not notice you.
Oh, I wish I got a 20.
That's why I wanted to check on that, because you would have got some more damage on there. I wanted to be fair with that. So, okay. Anyway, Mordecai, you are going to hit him with that wonderful ray of frost. Kind of veers to the right, hits some of the cavern wall near him, but doesn't strike him. All right.
That's it. I'm done.
Well, he is going to go. And he didn't get struck, but he is going to cast a spell on himself. And as he touches himself to cast, he just places his hands on him. Immediately after he does that, he seems to move almost a little faster as he dives into the water. And you don't see him. He just kind of whoosh. And that's okay. All right. That'll be his turn here. Erie.
well, he's gone. He's clearly dead. That would be the only reason he'd go underwater is, being dead. And then she's going to double move. And she'll put her dart away, leaving her hand free right now. So she just has one hand axe in her hand.
Okay. Does that end her turn?
Yep, that ends her turn.
Ryan.
All right. Let's see. Ryan's gonna move up there, and can I see him from here? Actually, I probably don't even have, probably not even in range. So I'm just gonna action dash to go over here.
Okay, and no, you don't see him. You don't know what they're attacking.
Yeah.
You like they told you, but you haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna charge up to there, and that's gonna be his turn.
All right, Therius, it is your turn.
So I'm going to approach to about ooh, there.
Okay.
And is there anything else in sight right now?
Besides your comrades, the four beings that are the cages that are submerged now, that is it. That is all that you see right now. Unless you want to make a perception to see if you can spot anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to make a perception check.
Okay. So looking about the cavern. So as you kind of look about, you do still see some of the vines on the ceiling just kind of slowly move about, but they don't seem to be encroaching down upon you. They seem to be just doing something to the dwarven bodies that are just dangling from the ceiling. But other than that, you're not seeing anything else unusual.
Oh,
Oh,
um,
you all right? Don't die on us.
trust me, I haven't died yet. I won't die on you. I'm going to hold an action to cast Firebolt if he pops back up.
Okay, holding your action.
Because my character is very certain that he's not dead.
All right. Well, does that end your turn?
Yes.
Fantastic. Mordecai, what would you like to do?
I cannot see him anywhere, is that right?
That is correct. You saw him dive under the water after casting a spell, and you have not seen him at all since.
I'll use a move action to move up, and then I'll hold an action to Ray of Frost anything that comes up hostile.
Perfect. So, lots of little things about to happen here. Those held actions are about to go off as he does make a reappearance. In fact, he comes out of the water right next to Ari. If this will show him, there we go. So, I thought Ari was going to step on him, to be honest. So close.
Did she move just perfect? Oh,
yeah.
Moved just perfectly.
Just right past it. So he comes out now. He doesn't have that dagger anymore. It's sheathed on him. He actually has this very large looking, it almost looks like a weird looking flail. And as he comes up out of the water with it, it exhumes this poisonous gas, these fumes, as he begins to kind of start to swing it around like he's getting ready to cold cock Ari. So a lot of little things happen here at the same time. As he emerges, I do need Ari to make a Constitution saving throw.
Well, thankfully she's not bad at that.
And that's just for being close proximity here with him.
I believe in you.
17.
Yeah, you make it. You're fine. You're kind of coughing. But and the fumes don't go toward where you're at, Mordecai. It's like all just around him, like within 5 feet. Just him just like swinging that almost like flail. Now, as he's doing that, you see him. Your eyes go wide. Aetherius, since you were holding first, there's something hostile here. He reared his ugly head. Would you like to release your held action? Use your reaction to hit him. All right, that will hit. Oh, all right. So,
All right then.
God damn it, Darius.
Just solo the boss.
It's just destiny, I guess.
Yeah, Destiny sure is a
Yup.
bitch.
well, as he started swinging, looks like he's about ready to hit Ari. You just reflexively, Gah! and strike him. As you do, his body just kind of slams into the water, and you see all these vines start to come up and just start like tearing into his body, just like going in, ripping. You hear like the bones crack open, Ari, as they like start going into his flesh, pulling him under the water. You see this cloud of murky, very dark, like very dark red just start to appear on the surface as you see all the movement, the worm-like movement of the vines just tear at his body. Mordecai, what would you like to do? Do you want to do anything since you still have your held action?
I'll shoot him just to finish him off.
Okay.
Because I don't think I can change what my saved action is.
All right.
Well, you don't have to take it, but
All right. Well, he fires at it. The surface of it, the surface of the bog water kind of freezes a little bit. Has that little sheen of frost, but all the vines are still just tearing at this thing. I mean, a multitude of vines. This would be a very scary anime for Eerie. You know, she might not want to be this close to that many tentacles. So, with that. That obviously ends his turn. Now, Ari, you do notice something that since you had a nice close view, the thing in his hands appeared to be some sort of modified thurible. The devices that you would like store incense or whatnot in. And burn those during prayer masses. This was also something that was taken from the Temple of Netania.
Ari's going to yell for somebody to grab the shiny thing, but she's looking for keys.
Okay, so you're going.
She is very focused on one thing.
All right. Well then. So as you reach down to start searching, go make your investigation check.
Six. Well, looks like I'm using my keyblade.
Well, hang on. So as you're kind of rummaging around the body, you start to feel the vines wrap around you and start to pull you in the water. And they begin not only wrapping around you, but they start to constrict upon you. You are grappled, and as they start to constrict around you, they do 8 points of damage. Now, since you're right here, you see that the vines themselves are wrapping around this druid's body, almost as they're taking up like a new form. And now you're stuck with this, like, part of this as it's constricting about the body.
Do I still have my action and bonus?
The investigation was your action, but you do have your bonus. And you still have your move.
I don't have my move since I'm grappled.
So, would you like to use your bonus?
I would indeed. Deep breath, Ari. Deep breath.
Good. So you recuperate from the from all the little things that were wrapped around you, crushing. Now you're still grappled, you're still part of it, but you are healing the damage that they've done.
Oh no.
And let me.
I'm
swap.
not married.
You are now.
Now the tentacles are gonna do terrible things to me.
So, all right. So that will end your turn here, Ryan. You see all these whipping vines and tendrils wrapping around Aerie. She's being crushed. You hear her sounds of pain as she's giving out these like she's trying to get a second wind to try to fight whatever this thing is that's holding her. And Mordecai, you just see all the vines starting to wrap around her in greater detail, and it's no bueno. It's no good.
Seriously.
Great.
I
Okay.
don't.
So, Ryan.
All right. Well, first we're gonna move up, and then.
Save the innocent people. Don't worry about me.
Pretty far from me. Not like I can really. All right. Let's see. So if I attacked the mass of vines, would that hit area as well?
Depends on your attack. If you're making a ranged attack, it's possible, depending on how badly you miss it.
I was gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Okay, well that's just a saving throw, so that would just target the creature.
Alright, so I guess I'll cast Sacred Flame at it.
Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Let's make sure you're targeting him.
Alright, I always forget to do that.
Sorry, there you go. I was about to help target it. Wait, hang on. Got to remove you because you're targeting yourself here. Come here. There you go. All right, you're good now.
Alright.
Yeah, we don't want you hitting yourself. That is going to be the most epic of failures with a natural 1.
Nice.
And you deal 1 point of damage, radiant damage to the vines as they're submerged. So some of the water, the radiant holy fire, just kind of sizzles with that. Ari, you see the vines just kind of light up with this holy energy. They burn a bit, and you see the damage on the vines. Just not a lot of damage on them.
Pretty.
Alright, well then, I guess that's gonna be, my turn.
All right, Aetherius.
So if I threw another chromatic orb, it'd hit Aerie, wouldn't it?
Possible, depending on how bad the aim was.
So we're just gonna go with my normal way of dealing with things, and I'm just gonna hold an action to hope that Aerie gets out of that thing's grasp.
Okay, holding your action for when Aerie gets out of the creature's grasp. Do you want to move any?
Nah, pretty comfortable where I'm standing right now.
Completely understandable. Under the forest of naked dwarven corpses, I can understand how you would feel pretty safe. So we'll go to Mordecai.
Okay, the corpse of the orc guy is just below Aerie, right?
It's being wrapped in vines that are also wrapping around Aerie, and it's in that space right next to her. So where it has the unidentified creature.
Can I try and find keys on the orc?
You can most certainly try. That's what Aerie was doing when she got grappled.
I'll pull out a dagger and try and cut at the vines.
Okay. Go ahead and make a attack roll. All right, and roll your damage. All right. So, with that, I'll say that.
I'm sorry, I didn't apply it to the creature. I'll do that now.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Perfect. So, I'll say with that, on Aerie's attempt to escape that grapple, she will have advantage since you're cutting away at some of the vines.
Perfect. That's more than I have wanted. Thank you.
All right. Well, let me at because Mr. Tentacle Feely is going to go. So he is going to press on with the constriction here since he's got Aerie. It's also going to it's still as the vines are still wrapping around the form. You see it getting larger. It's actually starting to get about Ryan sized. Now with Aerie just starting to almost lift up a bit off her feet with it as the vines start to constrict even further around her. Dealing 8 points of damage again. I think that was the same roll it did, 1 and a 5. Yep, same exact roll. So, it's constricting her, but outside of that, it is not done anything else. In fact, no, it will move 5 feet, dragging her with it. And now will be Aerie's turn.
Well, Aerie does not like being constricted.
But it's fun.
No, she does not. So she's going to try to break it.
All right, let's see what she can do.
You get advantage, right?
With advantage, just roll with advantage. And you have inspiration on... well, not going to worry for this, but if you fail after this, you know.
It's athletics, right?
Athletics or Dex Acrobatics, whichever you'd like to try.
23.
You easily wiggle out of its grasp.
Oh, good thing I did that because you dropped a 5.
So, all right, so that was your action to escape that, but you can move and you still have your bonus.
And more importantly, fire at will.
This is true.
Hi.
As she gets free, Aetherius. Okay, that will actually hit, believe it or not.
Yeah, thank goodness you didn't shoot that when Aerie was.
That was some nice damage on that. Yeah, this thing is, and this was fire, right? Yeah. So the vines start whipping around on just the flames going about. It's actually illuminating the area behind Mordecai and Ryan that was lightly obscured, is now just lit up from the fire of this thing.
I am very happy with that held action.
All right. So, with that resolved, Ares, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Grappling is considered taking the attack action, right?
Yes. Well, it's using your action with that. So you're using action to grapple, but you've used your action to escape the grapple. So unless you have something else that would...
Well, I was just curious for the wording, since I can't take a bonus attack with my offhand if I...
Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to actually use to attack.
Here's the question. Does he have attacks of opportunity? Ares gonna risk it.
All right. I mean, it does. It is going to... In fact, it looks like its reach is a lot longer with those vines than 5 feet. So it's going to try to get you before you get out of that. Question is, can it hit you? It missed. Modified to a 10. It rolled pretty low on the attack roll. So the vine-like tendrils reach out, 10 feet, trying to grapple, pull you back towards it, but you manage to get out the way just barely.
And as her free, she's gonna grab for her shield.
Okay. Pull the shield out from your back.
Because Aerie feels really bad right now. Like she took a breath and it got immediately punched back out of her.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse. So, does that end Ares' turn?
Yep.
Ryan! This thing is on fire. Area is free of its grasp. What would you like to do?
Alright, Ryan's gonna come up here. And then he's going to smack the crap out of it with his mace.
And you do. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's a solid hit.
It is a good solid hit. So you're smashing. You feel the body beneath the vines like being smashed even further. The vines still wrapping around, writhing, trying to actually grab your mace and your arm that's attached to it. They haven't grabbed onto it yet, but you see they're trying to.
All right, well, that'll be my turn.
All right. Well, Therius.
We're gonna go for a firebolt.
Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go ahead and roll the hit. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Holy shit.
All
Destiny
right,
wants
then.
you to kill it.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my god.
So describe the epicness that was this firebolt, as that thing only had 1 hit point left.
So he's gonna start channeling the firebolt as he runs towards it, stabbing it straight into the center of the creature as he discharges the magic, or allowing the flames to envelop its insides and explode out.
And explode as it does, as Mordecai and Ryan are now covered with orcish gore and green milky fluid from the vines. The vines stop writhing about, and the body of the orc you see just kind of exploded from the inside, and this was what was left from the vines just like tearing into it. It's just kind of floating on the surface, getting ready to kind of sink into the murky waters.
Oh dear, that's gross. And then then Ryan gags for a second.
Okay. So, you're technically out of combat, but I still need to track combat rounds for other purposes. So, that was Aetherius. So, Mordecai, what would you like to do?
Search the orc's body for keys.
Roll investigation.
13.
So, rummaging through the body, you find two things here. Trying to just hurry looking for the keys. You do find a key that was around the body's neck, but you also see a very strange looking medallion around the neck as well.
I'll come back to the medallion. I grab the key and then move up to Aerie and hand it to her.
Okay.
Aerie will take it as she continues to slog as fast as she can.
All right, well, continue to slog, as giving you the key is just a bonus, so you can take that. All right. So, taking the key. Now, you're going underwater to try to unlock this. I need you to make a dexterity check with disadvantage, because you're trying to get the key into the hole and not drop the key in the water.
These cages have ropes attached to them, right?
They do. They're attached to like the ropes above them. They're attached to like a pulley system, which is what he kind of cut the rope to, which dropped all four of them. So, I mean, you can pick up a single cage if you want.
I was going to say, it might be easier. Is there anywhere, like any rocks or anything, that are out of the water?
Well, there is a giant stalagmite behind the cages. But outside of that, there's nothing really pointing out. So you do have that one giant rock formation, though.
Aerie is going to try to swim under the first cage and then get it out and wedge it up into the rocks.
Okay, so ignoring having the key, make a strength athletics check, lifting the cage out of the muck. Oh,
My shoulder!
She violently twisted her back.
She did what she said to do, and it worked out exactly like she thought.
So, all right. On the bright side, nobody saw it because you were under the water doing it. So, there is that on the plus side.
Can she see the people in the cages?
No, it is heavily obscured here. It is complete, just black under here. You can hear like the movement in the cage, like you can hear people like kicking and the movement. You can feel the movement of the vibrations in the cage, but you can't see anything.
But there's still movement. That works for me. Next turn.
All right, Ryan.
All right, Ryan is going to double move all the way up there.
Okay. Now, Aerie's still under the water here, with the cage, which is also kind of under the water.
Yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna end his turn.
Okay. All right. Aetherius, what would you like to do?
It looks like they have this handled, so he's going to go over to the corpse and look it over to
Alright.
see if there's anything the others missed.
Sure, make an investigation check. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were some things missed. So there was, of course, this medallion that was being worn. It's like a gold medallion adorned with like these red and yellow kind of semi-precious stones, and kind of just patting the body down. Other than what it was actually wearing in terms of like gear, you do see the relic, which he was indeed using as a weapon, the thurible. Now, he did some modifications on it. You're not sure exactly what he's done to it, but it looks like something you may not want to try to directly handle, but you do see it. The other thing that you find kind of going through him is he had a little leather pouch on him, and it feels like it's filled with a little bit of coin that you hear jingle, but there's some other objects inside of there that have substance to them. You're not quite sure what they are yet. They're a little bulky. They don't weigh that much either.
Alright, he's going to grab the pouch in the medallion and stuff the medallion into the pouch.
Okay. So, shoving the medallion in, the pouch now has some good bit of weight in it, but you have everything in that pouch.
And then from there, he's going to go and move over to see if there's anything he can do to help the others.
All right.
And that is my turn.
All right. Mordecai.
All right, what's the status of the cages?
Submerged. All of them. Still.
All of them.
Nobody who's been
I'm
open
gonna-
freed from the cages either.
I'm gonna lift the first cage from the water.
Make a strength athletics check.
12.
You are trying to lift this sturdy, almost like cast iron cage with a living creature inside of it, and you're not able to lift it more than about an inch. It is quite heavy.
I don't have a key. I can't do anything else, so that's about it.
All right. Well, that brings us back to Ari, whose lower
Is
back
going
is
to pass
hurting.
off the key.
To whom?
Yours now. Mordecai, because I assume Ryan is going to try to lift that.
So,
with-
almost like the legend of Excalibur, like the Lady of the Lake, there's this little dainty hand holding the key that you gave to Ari. Just come out of the water and just hold it up.
Can't you try and unlock it and then hand it off?
Aries going to use her action to try to get it out. She's more likely to drop the key than she is to get it in there.
Okie doke.
The moment I heard acrobatics, I was like, nope, we're going to get this on dry land.
Okay, I take the key.
All right. So you take the key and Ari, you gonna try to lift the cage?
Oh, not. She's going to move a bit in the water over here
Okay.
so she can keep checking the cages and make sure there's still movement in them.
Still movement for now, but they're not a lot of it.
How sturdy do they look? I know they're heavy.
They're cast iron cages. They're they're made to hold prisoners.
I probably don't have enough time to see what kind of lock they have on them.
You would have to lift the cage out of the water to even see the lock.
I'm going to attempt to lift the cage right above me.
All right, go ahead and make a strength athletics.
15.
All right, so you do manage to lift the cage up, and in that cage is what appears to be a halfling child that is kind of coughing, gasping for air. It's like a little girl just.
Deep breath, hold it. Can I see the lock?
Yeah, you can see the lock.
Does it look like if force was applied to it in a violent manner, it might break off?
I mean, you can try. I mean, anything, if enough force is applied, it's going to have a reaction. What reaction, you're not sure. This one, you're hoping that it would pop the lock.
Well, that's something I will consider next turn.
Okay. So with that, Ryan.
Ryan is going to attempt to lift the cage right in front of him.
All right. Strength athletics. This will be a little easier for you since things count, a little better for you. But
9.
not quite enough what you needed. So you get the cage like you start to kind of lift it up a bit, but then like you lose your grip on it and the cage just kind of falls down back into the bog.
It's actually not that strong. Alright, well, that's gonna be his turn then.
All right. Well, Therius. See them struggling to get the cages out. One of them has a halfling child inside of it that Aerie has lifted out of the bog.
Man, if only I had something that fired off a small piece of metal that could generally break locks. So we're gonna go for the next best thing, and let's see. I'm gonna action dash so I can get over here and let's see. I can't do anything until next turn. Well, good luck, guys.
Okay. Mordecai.
All right, since the cage I'm next to hasn't been lifted out of the water, I'm gonna try and unlock it.
Okay. Make a dexterity check. See if we can get that key in there. Since you're doing it blinded, it's going to be with disadvantage. Actually, yeah, it'd still be disadvantage with that.
I have an idea, but since I have the key, I can't really do it.
It might just be better to unlock the one that's out of the water. Just saying.
Yeah, but we need to get these people, like, the one that's out of the water is okay.
Yeah, but though if you unlock that one, then they can get out, and then you can put that one down and go lift another one. Yeah, that's my thought process anyway.
All right, sure. I'll unlock the cage that area is holding up. Since it's not doing something crazy, is it a bonus action? Dave?
You'd have to get closer to the cage.
I
Otherwise,
did get closer to the cage.
Aries lifting the top one.
She's lifting the one right above her.
Then I wouldn't have moved that way. I would have gone up here and around. But you didn't answer my question. Is it a bonus action to open it since it's above the water?
Since it's above the water, I'll say yes. Because it's a little easier to interact with. It's not that challenging for it.
Okay, good. Then I want to ready an action. The next time a cage is lifted, I want to cast Mold Earth and dig one of the adjacent areas out and move the earth underneath the cage.
Okay.
That way she can just set it down and it'll be above the water and we don't have to rush. Well, I mean, we do have to rush, but we can move on to other cages.
I understand. It'll give you something to prop the cage on. All right, that's fine. So
Yeah,
you're preparing
okay.
the magical image for that for when that is one of those other cages are lifted.
Yes.
All right. Well, you do have the one with the little girl unlocked. So, Ari, what would you like to do?
Right. Since that's been addressed, Aries going to move on. And she's going to try to lift this cage out.
All right. Make a strength athletics check for me.
Because we're running out of time, Aries going to dig in for that inspiration.
All right. She's digging deep. You're going to have advantage on it. Oh, good thing you did that. So, yeah, you lift that cage right out the water. And Mordecai?
I dig out the area north of it, and the dirt is deposited underneath the cage, which will hopefully let you drop the cage with them still being able to breathe.
Okay, and this one has a little boy, halfling in it. And he is coughing and gasping for air, just...
Aries taking a deep breath herself before plunging back in once more.
Alright.
And using the rest of her movement to get to the next cage.
Mold Earth is the best spell. I love
it,
this
it
spell.
really is. It's such a good spell.
Well, speaking of good spells, Ryan.
All right. Ryan is also going to use his inspiration
Okay.
to lift one of the cages.
All right.
The
Like it. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Hey,
18 and a 19. Now he's just showing off. He's just like lifting the cage up. Doesn't even break a sweat.
all right. So we got that one up, and that'll be the end of that turn.
Okay. Well, you're still holding it.
Yeah.
So, all right, Therius.
Well, he's gonna try and lift up the last one.
All right, make a strength athletics check.
Nope.
No, he doesn't. He lifted with his back, apparently. He took Ares' advice. Never take Ares' advice.
First it was with the smiling, now it was with the emoting, now it's with lifting with the back. And it's now,
She's trying. Wait, sorry. Glove, 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 glove.
well, that's my turn done.
All right. Well, you tried, though. You tried. Next time, Therius is going to lift with his legs and not his back. Now, Mordecai, it is your turn here. Now, Ryan's lifting a cage right now. Don't know if you want to try to do the same thing or if you want to do something different.
they're able to take some breaths. There's one more cage. So I'm
correct.
going to risk it and try and unlock it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's submerged, so make the dexterity check with disadvantage.
It's just dexterity check, not a acrobatics. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, it's just dexterity disadvantage.
Oh boy.
So you're trying to get the key into the lock, and you're having trouble finding the hole for it.
All right, well, I'll surface when I can't get it, and with my bonus action, I'll unlock the cage Ryan is holding.
All right, so you unlock that one, and Ari.
Harry's digging in deep. She's pushing all the swimming practice to the limits. I'm gonna try to get the last one. I've got a song stuck in my head. Yeah, she's pushing it to the limit.
You can imagine what song you have in there. But yeah, you managed to lift that up no problem. So that is being suspended, and so this female adult halfling is just kind of coughing as well, spitting up little bits of water from her mouth. And her eyes are just kind of wide, just looking about, terrified. Doesn't see where the orcish gentleman went, but sees you four here and doesn't know quite what's going on.
I found the song stuck in my head for later reference.
So it wasn't push it to the limit?
It was push it to the limit.
Okay. Fair enough.
Area's struggling to keep it up underwater, well, out of water.
As soon as it's back around, I'll unlock the two cages that are left.
All right, yeah, and with the cages now unlocked, you see this small family of halflings here, just kind of terrified. The woman, the one that was last rescued from the waters. Who are you? Where did he go? What are you gonna do with us?
He burned to death.
I am Sergeant Mordecai of the Holland Military. We have come to save you, and we have been successful, I believe.
Oh, praise Netanya! And the male adult halfling that's in the cage closest to Ryan. Thank the goddess. Children, are you okay? Yes, Papa. Yes. And you just see like the relief wash over his face. Can you get us out of this unholy place? We were taken by this fiend. He was torturing my family, threatening to turn us into one of those. Then he just kind of looks up at the dwarven bodies that are still just dangling from the ceiling.
Mordecai gestures to the column that they're next to. You are safe. Please have a seat here. Just have a seat. We will take a moment. And he pulls out his water skin and a ration for each of them and passes them out. We will have to travel, but we will be taking you back to the temple.
And they gladly take the food. They start trying to take care of the kids first. The kids try to, take handfuls of it, and the adults are trying to like, oh no, not too fast, not too fast, and they're trying to give them water and things like that, and they kind of take little sips themselves, just trying to gather their strength. It looks like they've been in here for a few days, probably with nothing to really eat and drink. You are here to
Well,
save us. Who sent you?
It was a quest at the Nymph's Rest. One of the other priests at the temple.
TT.
They sent for our help.
Toto. Toto.
TT, Toto, something like that.
Aries just having fun with rhyming words.
TT, is she here with you? And then they kind of look about, like all excited.
No. She needed to take a breath real quick.
It was rather dangerous.
Yeah, yes, that man was quite insane. I don't know why he took our family, but I'm glad he's no more. Please, can we leave this unholy place as soon as possible?
Yes, Etherius, did you pick off the items off the orc?
I could have definitely. Yeah, wow, your accent just infected me. Holy shit.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I got everything but the item that we came here for. I need something to most likely wrap it in. I don't think it might be a good idea to grab it with our bare hands.
Why not? It's just a metal
Well-
thingy, majigger.
Take these, and he offers his backpack. But put it in the backpack. I will take a look at it. I am good with the items.
Can the item fit in the backpack?
Yeah, it can fit in there.
Well, he's gonna try and put it into the backpack then.
All right, and you can kind of scoop it up with the backpack. You're going to get some of the bog water in there. It's just, the nature of the beast trying to collect it without actually having to touch it. But you do manage to get it inside the backpack.
While they're eating, Mordecai is going to cast Identify as a Ritual. I can cast it without components because of the Artificer ability.
Okay, so taking the time to prepare the ritual, cast it. When you cast Identify on the Thurible that this this druid has modified, has corrupted, he has turned it into, from what you can tell, an unholy weapon. It still acts as a Thurible for all intents and purposes. With various components, you're not sure what the mixture would be, but you could create an effect like you saw around Airy, where he was just unleashing poison with the basic use of it. However, that's not the extent of its magic. It does count as a +1 flail.
This will be a problem. I hope the Timber can handle it. Now, little ones, come here.
And the children, who are visibly just kind of scared and holding on to the adult woman, halfing. It's okay. It's okay. He won't hurt you.
Yes, I am an Asimov. Do you know what that means?
And the little girl just kind of shakes her head no.
Oh, I've worked for the gods. The good ones. Now here, and he pulls out 2 crossbow bolts. He casts light on one and hands it to one of them, and casts light on the other and hands it to the other one. So they each have a torch. Actually, only one of them can have one, so I hand it to whichever one seems most excited about it.
So the little girl who you're talking to will take the bolt, and she just kind of holds it close to her chest, and she just kind of shrinks her form down a little bit, still just kind of scared of everything, and trying not to look up at the horrors that lurk in the shadows above.
It will get a little dark, but do not fear. We are here to keep you safe.
Oh, okay.
Are we ready? I'll look to the rest of the group.
Harry seems busy inspecting the weapon.
The flail?
Yeah, we should get out of here.
We
I
should
would
leave.
not mess with that, Harry. It is very evil.
It's fine. I'm just studying how it's made, the various effects it can.
Just be careful, please.
So, are you actually touching the flail?
We put it in a backpack because we didn't think it was a good idea to touch it.
Well, she wants to study it, so if she's going to try to study it, she's going to need better access to it.
She does not want to put bare hands on that thing.
And you're not going to, then, other than what Mordecai was kind enough to tell you about it, you can see that the basic function of a thurible still remains on it, but it's been reinforced to also be able to withstand blows to be used as a weapon. But outside of that, without being able to really handle it, you can't really study anything more to it.
Well, you know, Aries' mom had a saying about this. If a religious artifact has been turned into a weapon, Aerie, please get your tongue off it. So, yeah, no, she's content to just start designing her own in her head.
Okay.
That sounds like good advice.
Look, just because I licked one magical item doesn't mean I'm going to lick them all.
I will let you know if a magic item is lickable before you do it. Is that agreeable?
Okay.
How many licks does it take to get the center of a cursed thurible? Let's find out.
Oh my god. Let's get out of this fucking cave.
All right. Does anybody want to stay in the caverns?
No, I would not.
Okay.
Did you pick off everything from that corpse, including the medallion?
Yes.
Okay, I might want to take a look at that later to identify it.
All right. So, leaving the caverns, going back the way you came, being careful not to step in the unknown pitfall. You make your way out back towards the bog. As when you go back out, you see the sun has already descended. The bog is now covered in the evening sky, and you've rescued the halfling family, but you have not taken them back to the temple just yet. We will stop right here for today.